Hey, what is going on guys? This is Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have the Battle of the Catalaunian Plains in Total War Attila. Now this is a historical scenario, so I hope you guys are ready to see how it all unfolds. Anyways, if you do enjoy the video, then please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel and to turn on those post notifications. Anyways, let's get straight into it. The year is 451 AD, as Attila the Hun marches into Gaul at the head of a vast coalition. The fate of the Western Roman Empire hangs in the balance. Standing against him is an unlikely alliance, led by the Roman general Flavius Aetius and King Theodoric of the Visigoths. On the Catalaunian Plains, one of history's greatest battles is about to unfold. Can the Hunnic horde crush the last defenders of the West, or will the coalition halt Attila's seemingly unstoppable advance? Let's find out now. Okay guys, so let's hit play and let's quickly go through the players and the factions that they're commanding. So over here on the Hunnic side, we have X-Swift Elite as the Ostrogoths. We have Apex JD as the first of the Hunnic armies. We then have Baron von Belgium as the second of the Hunnic armies. And finally, we have Alucard 97 Gold as the final Ostrogothic force. If we go over to the other side, we have the Visigoth Western Roman Empire coalition. So, leading the first army is myself. I am playing the Alans. Next up, we have Evil Prime playing the Franks. Then we have Kamizumi playing the Western Roman Empire themselves. And finally we have a King of Old playing the Visigoths. So yeah, those are the factions and the players commanding them. I hope you guys are ready because this one is going to be awesome. So as we can see, both armies are currently facing off against one another. We have the Western Rome / Visigothic coalition on the right side in blue and yellow. And then we have the hordes of the Huns and the Ostrogothic allies over here on the left in red. So the way this battle is unfolding is we tried to simulate or emulate the historical occurrences, the things that occurred in the historical battle. So the first thing you're going to see is hordes of Hunnic horse archers running up. So they're going to be skirmishing us down and, just harassing our troops with all their combined, horse archers. So that is going to be the first thing happening. Next up, you're going to see us hold our lines pretty much, right? So we are not going to advance because historically, the Visigothic player, so King Theodoric and his Visigoths, were the ones that led the charge because he was overzealous. He wanted to get into the fight. So for the rules in terms of what we can do as players is we cannot launch our attacks or we cannot start pushing forward and attacking until our Visigothic ally, until King Theodoric himself, who's in this, Gothic general unit, pushes forward and engages in melee. So in the meantime, until that happens, we have to have a little bit of a skirmish phase where the Huns can, show off their overpowering horse archers. As you can see, it's already not going well for me, so I am playing the Alans. I have 3 units of grey hairs, which are my own horse archers, but I am being absolutely cut to pieces by these Hunnic horse archers. Look at this. They have like, I think 8 units of horse archers, or maybe even 9 units with the Hunnic warlord. So yeah, they are just going to shoot me to death, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying to skirmish back, trying to do some damage, getting a little bit of damage on that one unit, but I am outnumbered by far. Just look at this unit. It was absolutely cut down. Now over on the side, Western Rome is moving up some crossbows, so the Western Roman Empire is moving up some elite ballistari. He's trying to get them in range, but unfortunately crossbows are outranged. Look at that, they are outranged by the horse archers. So the horse archers are going to stay out of the crossbow range and just do damage to them in the meantime. We can see one of my units here is already breaking. They're routing, but they haven't shattered, so they could come back. My other 2 units are both very weak as well and not getting too many kills. The Franks are also moving up, trying to keep in line with me as well. Western Rome as well, moving up, trying to stay, trying to keep in line with the Visigothic player. Now the Visigoths, remember, is led by King Theodoric, and he is going to be attacking the Ostrogothic allies of the Huns. So the Ostrogoths, were basically vassals to the Huns, and they're moving up here with a lot of Thracian Oldsworn. Oh my god. Thracian Oldsworn, Gothic Palatinate effectors. The Visigoths are unloading with Germanic bows, so they do have some Germanic bow shooting. They have Germanic Spearmasters as well. A lot more Spearmasters. They have like 6 units of spears. So we're going to see if they're able to hold the line. We have Thracian Oldsworn from the Visigoths coming forward. forward. The charges are occurring. Throwables coming out from both sides. Thracian Oathsworn charging into Gothic Palatine Defectors. You're going to have to slow this one down, guys, because there's going to be so much unfolding over here. The front lines are crashing. Thracian Oathsworn from the Ostrogoths, sorry, charging into all the Germanic Spearmasters from the Visigoths, from King Theodoric. Some of King Theodoric's own Thracian Oathsworn are charging in, countercharging the Ostrogothic Oathsworn warriors. So both sides are engaged in melee, and now because of that first clash of troops, the other armies are going to collapse in on each other pretty soon. There is, however, a bit of a flanking force over here. So look at this. The Ostrogoth player is sending Royal Sionis along with noble Germanic horsemen as well as noble Gothic lancers around the flank, along with some Germanic spearmen to support. The Visigothic player, though, King Theodoric, does see this. He's got his own Gothic general, his noble Germanic horses. He actually has a lot of noble Germanic horsemen, and he's got them all ready to go and deal with that flank, though he does have to be careful because there are some spears supporting that cav push over there. Now over on the front line, the Roman crossbows are pulling back, and the reason for that is because the Huns are moving up. Look at this. The entire Hunnic army is moving up. The other army is still sitting back here. I'm not sure why. It's meant to be pushing forward, but I think the play was just a little bit delayed. And basically what is happening here, guys, historically, is the Western Roman Empire had a really strong core of elite troops, right? Along with the Alans, and they were just there to weather the assault, you know, from the unending stacks of Hunnic troops. And look at this. First clash of troops, chosen Ua warriors from the Huns, charging into the Cornoti Seniores. Cornoti Seniors are protecting the front line. Elite Balistari managing to retreat safely. Over here we have some more chosen Ua warriors. Lots of throwables coming in from the Elite Palantina, but at this point probably doing more damage to their own troops than to the enemy. That or just straight up missing. But yeah, as I was saying, the Alans and the Western Romans are the core center troops of this fight, of the coalition forces, and they're gonna have to try and hold back the Hunnic onslaught. Look at this, lots and lots of noble Akatsuri raiders. Yeah, noble Akatsuri raiders are charging forward. These are light melee cav. They're going to be charging forward and trying to do as much damage as they can. These spears have already taken some damage, mostly from the chosen Ua warriors, but they did get cut down by throwables over there. Okay, we're going to go back to normal speed just because we have a little bit of time, but over here on this other side we have another Ostrogothic army. So this is the second of the Ostrogothic forces. They're moving forward. Gothic warband charging forward. Over here we have the Franks trying to hold. We have Francisca Heerban, Royal Astrictions, and we have their elite Germanic archers. So the Franks are going to try and hold back the Ostrogoths, try and keep them back for as long as possible. Over on this front line, we have the cav charging in. Look at this, lots of noble Akatsuri raiders charging straight into the Roman lines, trying to do as much damage as possible, getting some beautiful charges off over there. Now, the Romans are going to try and hold this line. They have heavy infantry, heavy armor. They're going to try and ensure that that doesn't happen. Over here, we have troops that have broken through. So Thracian Oathsworn have cut through the Germanic Spearmasters like a hot knife through butter. And these Oathsworn are going to go for these Germanic bows, and they're going to try and, you know, encircle the Ostrogothic player. We have gone back to slow motion just because there's so much happening so fast over here. Here we have some elite Hunnic lancers flanking around, and what they're going to do is they're probably going to come around over here and then charge. Ooh, look at this. Yep, they're going to go for the Roman general. This is Flavius Aetius himself, and he is going to be in trouble here as this charge comes in. Will the player see it? Okay, he does see it. He tries to get a bit of a counter charge off, but these are elite Hunnic lancers, very good shock cab, and they're taking on the Magister Militum. These are Gaul Chevron though, so they may be able to hold on a little bit, but these elite Hunnic lancers here may come in to charge in as well. So let's go back to slow motion because I'm sure we're missing stuff here. Look at this. Oh my god, guys, there's so much occurring over here. So we have a frontline fight happening in the center. This is between myself and the other Hunnic army. So he's sent in his noble Akatsuri raiders. They're fighting my noble Alani cavalry, and there's a massive front line going over here. Noble Alani is holding Alani mounted veterans coming in to support, and we have a big front line of cav over there. Basically 4 separate battles occurring at the same time. We have the one Ostrogothic force taken on the Franks, and the Franks right now are suffering. They have Ostrogothic troops, Ostrogothic cavalry in the backlines, noble Germanic horses over there, some more noble Germanic horsemen over there, and they are just running amok against the Frankish player. Frankish player is trying his best to stop that. For myself, I'm doing much better. I'm managing to hold my front line against against these Huns. I do have some troops over here, some veterans. I have some Alani heavy cataphracts as well as the Alani general, and they're going to try flank around, see if they can get some damage over there. But the Huns are going to see that. They're going to send in the noble cavalry raiders. They're not going to let me get away with that, and they're going to charge in. That throwable is actually doing some damage to me ahead of time and charging in over there to take that. Same, I tried to get a flank around over here with my noble Alani cavalry, but the first wave lancers saw that and shut me down. Over on the Roman side, we have this front line still. Tons of noble cavalry raiders holding. Elite Palantina sent in to support the Coronati Seigneurs, because I think the Coronati Seigneurs were just being destroyed. And oh my god, first wave lancers are going to rear charge. We have so much more first wave lancers, more elite Hunnic lancers as well. They are completely surrounding the Romans. The Romans are getting their rear charged by all this heavy shock cav from the Huns, and that is what happens when you go with an infantry heavy force against a extremely powerful cavalry army. So they're gonna try hold for as long as they can, you know, use their strength of their quality of troops, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Over on this flank, it looks like the Ostrogoths are losing. The Visigoths are doing well. Gothic general is alive. Germanic spearmen here are going to break. Over on this front line, we have Royal Saiones, which is the Ostrogothic general, along with some noble Germanic horsemen, fighting the Visigothic noble Germanic horsemen. Over here, we have some cav, some noble Gothic lances, but they are surrounded by Germanic horsemen, by a couple of Thracian Oathsworn, as well as some Germanic Spearmasters. Then we have another little skirmish over here. Again, we have some Germanic Spearmasters and some Thracian Oathsworn. Yep, they're taking out the noble Gothic Lances. Unfortunately, a lot of the cav is stuck in melee and not going to be able to do the most damage. We have some Germanic bows here also shooting, but it looks like the Ostrogoths are going to lose, but they have put up a brilliant fight. You know, they nearly broke the Visigoths. They nearly broke the Visigothic morale and their army, but it looks like they will come out on top over there. As for the Romans here, their elite Palantina, their really powerful, strong core infantry is starting to shatter, is starting to break, is starting to waver, and that's because they are just surrounded by Huns. Look at this. Look at this. There's just a couple troops over there just surrounded by hordes and hordes of Hunnic horses. And we also can't forget that they have a ton of elite Hunnic lances in the back lines. I think they just wiped out the Roman general. I believe the Roman general, yeah, the Magister Militum is routing. It shattered as well, yeah. Magister Militum is dead with only 12 kills. That is Flavius Aetius dead and off the battlefield. Theodoric, I think, is still alive, thankfully. Yeah, we have some more Roman troops pushing forward. We have Coronati Seigneurs, we have some more spears, and we have some Armigeri Defensores even pushing forward over here, going for some of these stationary cav. I'm trying to hold as much as I can. We have Burst Wave Lancers charging in. I got my own Alani general there. He's also dropped a brace to try and support my troops in this fight. We have some Alani heavy cataphract supporting him. This front line is not looking good. I have noble Alani cav. The First Wave Lancers are breaking, but there's a fresh unit of them as well. They're going to help break that pretty quickly. And we also have Hunnic horse archers that are firing fire ammo, that are trying to do some damage over there. We're going to go back to normal speed, but I will go back to slow motion so we don't miss anything. But yeah, over on this side, the Franks are collapsing, guys. Even though their armies were the same size and the Franks had more elite troops, the Ostrogoths are still able to just cut through them, and there's nothing the Franks can do at this point. They just don't have the troops left. These Thracian Oathsworn are cutting through the Royal Estratones. Francisca Heerban are being cut apart by the cavalry, and the remaining Frankish troops are all breaking and are going to be running off the battlefield pretty soon. Some Hunnic horses are coming over to support this. Actually, wait, not really. Never mind. These are still the Ostrogothic cavalry. Never mind, the Ostrogoths have cleared up this Frankish defense all by themselves. The Huns are coming for me instead. They have horse archers over here, sitting on the side, shooting into the back of my troops. Got some Frankish archers here that are getting charged. And my cav are trying to hold, they're trying to do something, but again, my front lines are wavering. Look at that, my unit just broke over there with that volley. So yep, 2 units have broken. Fire arrows coming in to support and do some damage. My front line is holding, though, a lot longer than I expected. They're able to hold even outnumbered against the greater number of the Huns. They are truly weathering the assault over there. Over on this side, we have the Roman player, his Coronati Seigneurs. These spears are cutting through these remaining troops over here. We have a look at this battle on this side. The same thing is happening. The first wave lancers stuff are low on morale. They are breaking. We have the Gothic general from the Visigoths coming down to help, it would seem, as he has cleaned up his fight. Yeah, the Ostrogoths on this side are dead. It's only the Ostrogothic general still holding, but he is surrounded by so much of infantry, so he is going to die, and he is wavering over there. And yep, look at that. Yep, the Ostrogothic general is dead. The Ostrogoths are fully off the battlefield, so the Visigoths are going to come down to support the Western Roman Empire. Western Roman Empire is holding on, but barely, against the hordes of the Huns, against Attila's army. Some Visigothic troops are down here, some Oatsworn warriors are down here trying to help with some of these lances. The Gothic general himself as well is trying to keep these cav in place. We have some Romans still alive, some elite Palantina, Cornoti Seniors fighting to the death. The Alans though are basically wiped out. That is going to be the end of me. Our left flank collapsed fully, with the Franks being completely wiped out by their opposing Ostrogothic army. The Huns that went up against me as well, managing to clean me up and wipe me off the battlefield. But even though I was outnumbered by them, I still put up a pretty good fight. A ton of dead bodies over here. The Huns are clearing the last of my forces up. I only have a couple Alani mounted veterans left. Some more veterans, some heavy cataphracts, and maybe my general. Nope, my general himself. Oh yeah, my general is still alive. Yeah, he's fighting these horse archers, but now he's getting charged by another unit of horse archers, so he's not going to last too long over there. And if we have a look at this battlefield, we can see that the Visigoths, King Theodoric, even though he was rash, even though he charged forward, you know, like he did historically, he was able to clear out his Ostrogothic opponent, and he's now coming down south to help the Western Roman Empire. The Western Roman Empire, even though they are severely depleted, their core infantry, their heavy infantry, was able to hold the line and survive the onslaught of the Hunnic forces. The Alans did their best. They weathered the attack, and my general has literally just died. Yeah, my general has just died to those horse archers. But yeah, the Alans, we did our best. We weathered the assault as long as we could until we fell. The Franks, our little merc allies, kind of, they came over, they tried their best, but the Ostrogoths cut them apart and now are going to form up to go against the remaining forces. So now, while this started off as a 4v4, left side against the right side, now it's become a 2v2, north versus south more like. So we have the Visigoths and the Western Roman Empire, and we're going up against, I think, the two Hunnic armies, actually more like a 3v2, and then, because I think there's also some remaining Ostrogothic troops. The Ostrogothic general over here is at 200 kills, and they've only lost a single man. So this is going to be an interesting fight. I'm not sure who's going to win. There is still some allied cav from the Western Romans and the Visigoths. This is the Visigothic cav specifically. They're going to clear out these horse archers. They have some infantry, some Thracian Oatsworn that are fighting these horse archers. They're going to use their own horses to pin them down. If you can pin them down, then you can use the infantry to help you clear up those fights and win it. Now, what they need to do is they need to keep their infantry together, and oh no, look at that. Oh, that unit of Thracian Oatsworn just got wiped with that charge. Small unit of first wave lancers just wiped them out. The spears coming in actually from the Scree warriors. I think they killed more friendly cav than they did of the Oatsworn. But yeah, we are going to see how this unfolds. If we look at the balance of power, it is 800 men against 1,200 men. So it's not over yet. We still have a chance. The problem is the archers are getting pelted down by tons and tons of enemy horse archers. They still have some ammo left actually they still have a decent amount of ammo left on their horse archers. They have more horse archers on this side flanking around. And because their infantry only left pretty much, there's only a couple cav, they need to stay together, they need to work together, and they need to push. Now, obviously, this is a field battle, and the infantry are going to just be surrounded, they're going to be outflanked and outran by the cavalry. The cavalry are going to be able to go find gaps in their defense and cut them apart. And oh, look at this, we have them going in, we have the troops going in, it looks like they're going for the general. If they're able to get a kill on this general, it could change things. So they have their 3 depleted units of cav coming in. The problem is, the cav here, I don't think is healthy enough to kill this general, plus the horse archers that were sent in to help. They needed infantry support, and these imp are gonna get, oh my god, those Oatsworn just got absolutely wiped. That unit just took so many losses. They were coming over to help, but now they're gonna die, and the cav here is getting recharged as well by more Hunnic lances. So they are being cut apart here. We have, got a noble Germanic horseman. This is from the Ostrogoths. They're coming for the Visigothic general. Visigothic general, I think he's gonna have to charge in. He has no choice. Yeah, he's gonna get charged. There is some troops. He's got some troops here. He's got some Germanic spear masters. These spears are going to do a lot of damage, and he has some Oathsworn warriors. He needs to try and kill these guys off. The problem is his general is weak. Oh my god, yeah, his general literally just shattered completely. His general unit just shattered. The infantry aren't even really able to catch up before the horses have killed their general and are running away already. Over on the front line over here, all the Ostrogothic, should I say, all the remaining Visigothic cavalry has broken. The Thracian Oathsworn are fighting to the death. They are fighting to the last man. On this side here, we have some Germanic Spearmasters again. No, they've just shattered. The morale is not looking good. The armies are breaking. The armies are falling down. Rapid advance being popped over here. Thracian Oathsworn are going to get charged. Oh my god. Completely bowled over by the Hunnic lancers over there, just destroying that unit. A couple of them getting up, but that unit is going to be gone. They're already, yeah, look at them. Their numbers are gone, and they're now going to waver, and soon will shatter off the battlefield. And if we have a look at it, it looks like, yeah, this is definitely going to be a Hunnic victory. So let's end the replay and have a look at the stats. So we have, first we'll have a look at the Western Rome / Visigothic alliance. So first up we have myself. I was running a 15 stack army. So what that means is I was only allowed to use 15 units in total. So even the armies are 20, I was only allowed 15 units. As we can see, I didn't do too bad. 100 kills on my general, most of my cav averaging about 100 kills over there, while my Noble Alani cav averaging about 50 kills each. They were just overrun though by the numbers of the enemy Huns. Alani every cataphrax getting 40, and my horse archers barely doing any damage, just getting torn apart by the hordes of Hunnic horse archers. Next up, we had the Frank player. So he had a bunch of Royal Astrutions, a bunch of Francisca Heerband, elite Germanic archers, and some noble Germanic horsemen. His Royal Astrutones doing really good, all of them getting between 100 and 150 kills on average. His general just getting absolutely cut apart. Francisca Heerband getting about 100 kills each. His archers also averaging about 80 to 100 kills, and his noble Germanic horsemen just being cut to pieces. If we have a look at Kamizumi, so he's elite Ballistari, unfortunately doing nothing, getting absolutely cooked by the Hunnic player. Unfortunately, if he was able to get like 150 kills each on these guys, it may have been enough to change the tide of battle, but we're not going to know now. His elite Palantina, unfortunately, 3 units of them getting absolutely cut apart, barely 40 kills each. The other 2 units, though, doing really good, 170 and 120 kills. His spears all actually putting in really good work, nearly 150 kills across the board for his spears. His general, though, just getting assassinated by those Hunnic troops. If we have a look at the final player, this is King Theodoric's army led by a king of old. So his spears about, I'd say 100 kills on average, 1 or 2 units performing a bit better, a lot of them performing just under. His Thracian Oathsworn, though, being the MVP, is nearly 200 kills there, 260 there, 120 there, 220 there, 250 there, 200 there. So racking up the vast majority of his kills. His general as well, pulling in 120 kills. His archers just got cut to pieces, and his noble Germanic horsemen not doing the greatest, averaging about 50 to nearly 100 kills on some units. Now let's have a look at the other troops. Also, I forgot to mention, so the Alans, the Franks, and the Western Roman Empire were only allowed 15 units each, okay? So 15 units, 15 units, 15 units. The Visigoths were allowed a full 20 stack. As for the other team, the 2 Ostrogothic players were only allowed 15 units each. The 2 Hunnic players were allowed 20 units each, just in case you were wondering about, the sizes of the armies per side. So let's have a look at the first Ostrogothic army. This is the one commanded by X-Swift Elite, and this is the army that fought the Franks. So he only had 15 units, and he was also slightly lower on funds than his allies or anyone else. So he had a little bit less money. So he performed extremely well, for the funds that he had. So he went up against the Franks. The Franks and him had the same army size, but he had like 2,500 less gold than the Frankish player did, but he was still able to win that fight quite handsomely and with a lot of troops remaining. So 200 kills on his general over there. His Gothic warband all getting nearly 100 kills on average. His Thracian warriors getting another 100 kills each. His two units of Oathsworn getting nearly 250 kills each, and all his noble Germanic horsemen averaging 200 to 250 kills. So really good performance from him there. If we have a look at Apex's horse archers doing great, 150 kills there, about 80 kills on the other units. His first wave lancers not doing the greatest, about 80 kills, 20, 60, 80, yeah, not the greatest stats from those units. His one unit of Hunnic lancers though doing 120 kills over there. His noble cavalry raiders all getting about 20 to 40 kills as well, but his Scree warriors actually doing great, pulling 150 kills each. If we have a look at the other Ostrogothic player, this is the player that went up against the Visigoths, against King Theodoric. If we have a look at him, 100 kills on average on his cav, for nearly 360 kills on one of his Oathsworn, 110 on the other, just 18 on that unit there, 160 there, 150 there. Gothic Palatina Defector is only getting about, I would say about 60 kills when you average that out. Another 60 to 70 kills for his warband, and about 50 kills each on his Germanic spears. The final army is the second Hunnic army commanded by Baron. He is the player that went up against the Western Roman troops, and his horse archers did insane. 220 kills there, 200 kills there, 180 there, 120 there. Really good performance from him there. His first wave lancers 160, 140, 200 over there. This one, this is the elite Hunnic Lancer, only getting 100 kills, 150 there, 130 there, 90 there, but still pretty good stats across there. Noble Cavalry Raiders averaging about 50 kills each, and his Chosen War Warriors getting about 60 kills between them, and the Hunnic Warlord nearly getting 270 kills. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. This was the Battle of the Catalaunian Plains. It was a historical reenactment. It was the Visigoths and their Western Roman allies against the Huns and their Ostrogoth, client states basically, or their Ostrogothic allies. The Alans were there as well, historically supporting the Western Roman and the Visigothic troops. And I mean, the Franks wouldn't really have been there, but they kind of were there. So the Franks were just the nice flavor faction that were added in. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. And finally, I would just like to give a massive shout out and a heartfelt thank you to all my YouTube members who go above and beyond in supporting the channel and helping to make this all possible. Your continued support truly means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. Konnichiwa.